But, motivation wise, I've always been kind of the same. I lead by transparency. I guess my thing is kind of like I said before, I'm not a good liar. I'm not a good bullshitter. I just tell it straight. As a leader, sometimes, you don't want to give every little bit of information to your team, but I've always believed give them as much information as I can kind of legally give in my position to them, because the more they know and the more they know I'm being straight with them about what's going on, the more they're going to want to work for me, and kind of rally behind whatever I'm asking them to do. So I've always been very transparent, and I continue to kind of lead that way at Form Factor. Kind of talk, it's like titles and all that kind of stuff's out the door. It's not like, oh, I'm a director and you're a technician on the floor, and it's like, hey, we're a bunch of dudes, we just got to get a job done, kind of a thing. And I think that talking to them like that and being clear that, like, I'm not hiding anything from you, I'm not telling you to do something I wouldn't do or telling you to do something I don't believe in, has always worked for me to kind of get, really strong teams. I mean, I mentioned earlier, right, that first job at Bloom where the guy left on the day one, right? Well, the other guys who didn't leave, some of those guys are my best friends now. I was their boss. They were kind of like, oh, this like young kid's gonna be my boss now. And at first they were probably nervous. I was nervous, but like, our little crew, and even as it grew, was tight, and I know those guys would run through a wall for me, if I needed them to. And,
because you do the same thing for them.
Exactly. So we were all in it together. And so it's kind of, just being incredibly honest and transparent with the people that I lead, has always worked for me. And I'm going to try to continue to do that, and I think it builds great teams. I also coach football, right, at the high school, and I've seen the same thing with the kids, right? I mean, they want, they're motivated and they rally around a coach who they can relate with, who speaks to them as people and individuals, not just kind of, a kid that doesn't understand, right? Like I try to make sure that, they know, like, I was a kid and didn't understand it at some point either. So if I'm telling you this, it's because I learned it the hard way or whatever the case may be. And I'll tell them the stories about how I screwed up many, many times. I'm not perfect. And that, I think, seems to really kind of motivate the kids as well.